It is Parallel Frequencies with Just Blane and Coco over there and our freaks out there. What's up, freaks?
What's up, freaks?
Yeah, today, Trailer Park Thursday, going down right here. If you haven't followed us or subscribed, why? First of all.
Why?
But you can do it right now if you go to @Parallel Frequencies Daily, @Parallel Frequencies Daily. Coco, you're excited over there. What are you excited about today? What's going on?
Next week, the part 2 of Bridgerton, the latest season of Bridgerton comes out. Not really your thing, I get it. But for those of us who like a little period piece erotica, I guess is the best way I would describe it. It's right for us ladies who like that kind of thing, a good story and a nice romance. I'm excited.
Did you do the binge of Bridgerton?
Yeah,
or were you watching? You did.
I did the binge. Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was like, I'll just, I'll let it trickle in while I'm watching things or whatever. But I can't remember why. I think I was having insomnia. I must have had a night where I was like, all right, we're doing this. I'm watching every episode that's come out. So we're halfway through the season. We got to find out what happens.
So this is the end, like the series finale. Is that it? Bridgerton's going away after.
Oh, I don't
February?
know. I don't think it's the end. Well, they might run out of Bridgertons. I don't know if there's any Bridgertons left to partner up and get married off. So, might be. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the writers could always do the Law and Order SVU thing and have the different cities or the different whatevers. I don't know how it really works, but they could have spinoffs. Speaking of spinoffs,
they do. Yeah.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Have you seen any of this yet?
Yeah, started watching the first couple of episodes. My dad is watching. I mean, he's really all in, and he's watched a bunch of the episodes. So I watched the first 2, and love the Game of Thrones, Westeros, verse. But I was kind of asking my dad, okay, does it start to kind of pick up a little bit? First 2 episodes, I was like, I'm not quite in yet. I'm not bought in yet, but I think it gets better. So I'm all in.
That was a lot of people, and there's no spoilers here, but I will tell you, episode 3, that one made me sit up. And I was like, whoa! It was one of those moments.
I'm ready.
So keep watching. I think there's 4 or 5 episodes out maybe by now. We're going to get to this show. We're going to talk about Night of the Seven Kingdoms because, Game of Thrones. This one's really dialogue driven so far in the first couple episodes, though. So I can see where Game of Thrones fans, they want violence. They want blood. They want all that stuff. It's coming.
It's got to have something that catches me, like Jon Snow. Daenerys Targaryen. Those were characters that I got so familiar with and so into and so invested in. Arya Stark. I mean, so in the original series, I really wanted to I was really invested. So I need a little more of that.
I'm going to say this too to the Game of Thrones fans who are not really bashing, maybe bashing, but they're knocking Night of the Seven Kingdoms for not being violent. Be patient.
Yeah.
We've got the Dragon Show season 2 coming this year too, and I guarantee you that one's going to be violent. You'll get your, rewards and blood or whatever. You'll get it, people. All right.
Yeah.
I promise. But today, Trailer Park Thursday. Let's get to our first podcast trailer out there. I'm kind of excited about this one. I'm always excited about our podcast trailers because it's just good fun. I mean, you never know what we're going to get. Last week's was wild. They're always getting even wilder. But let's play this first one here and see what we think.
We all know something is seriously wrong with our attention. An industry of immense technological and financial power is capturing and commodifying our ability to be present in the world. To push back, we need more than individual willpower or isolated efforts. We need a movement of attention activism. I'm Hayani Conchizano, and I'm a facilitator at the Strother School of Radical Attention. We're a group of artists, designers, thinkers, parents, and citizens who have come together in the pursuit of attention liberation. For the past few years, we've been running free workshops called Attention Labs out of our space in downtown Brooklyn. We study attention, we practice different forms of attention, and we build coalitions. We've run these labs for hundreds of people. Now, we're bringing the Attention Lab to you. In this 3-part series, you will learn the central concepts, techniques, and tools to do attention activism wherever you live. You can listen alone, and if you can, we recommend listening with others. The first episode comes out January 5th. Thank you for sharing your attention with us.
They got my attention. I was hooked that whole time. There was something about the way that she was talking. I was already in, and I didn't even have to know what they were doing. But this is an educational podcast, but one of those that's on the outer rims of maybe what some people would think is education, because it's not I don't think they teach this in college. I don't think that there's courses that are actually for attention. But I can tell you what, we need them.
Yeah,
They're
maybe
right.
they should.
They're right. Attention is being commodified these days between corporations, whatever you have it out there, but they're looking for everybody's attention because we can only give so much. So you got to get what you can give. And that's what they're doing. But I think this is incredible. I didn't even know there was a school for this. Going to look more into this. We're going to make sure that we get all the notes for this one in there. It says School of Radical Attention in Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn too. I don't know if you've been there, but beautiful. Cultural driven.
Not, but I love the idea of there being a central place where people are. It's almost like philosophy or philosophers of ancient Greece. You know, I imagine people standing on stone steps, just kind of pontificating on things and saying like, how can we change the world and how can we understand the world better? And that's what I thought of when I first started listening about, Attention Lab. And then I started thinking about, meditation practices and being present and Buddhism and how, wondering how different is this from that? And I'm all in. I want to go to this school. I want to figure out how attention. And by the way, my love language is quality time. So if anybody wants me to feel loved, give me your attention.
There you go. I think everybody to a point wants some sort of attention. There are people who don't really like the spotlight, but that doesn't mean attention. That's not an all or nothing. It's not spotlight or dark. I think there's an in-between, and I think everybody needs a little bit of attention.
Yeah, just that being heard and listened to and really giving all of your focus on, that is that's like time, energy, money, anything that can be energetically exchanged. Having someone's full attention is like a gift. It's like they're giving you an actual physical object because they're giving you something that expends their energy.
To the freaks out there listening, thank you for doing that to us. Thank you for giving us your attention. Seriously, that's one of the most important things that we could have is our time. That's something that we can't buy. That's the most invaluable thing. Like, that's it. Like, it's above anything else. And we appreciate the freaks out there. And I'm going to stop talking right now and get to the next trailer so that we don't waste any more of your time. So let's play this next one. I'm kind of excited about this. I really went off of the artwork of some of these. But
they told us it was a weather balloon, just a glitch. It was a drone. Now it's just AI, I guess. The explanation keeps changing, but the stories don't go away.
Videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real.
This season goes harder.
There was a thought in my brain I should leave.
Bigger encounters.
That's where the weirdness sort of starts.
Images of that rotating thing captured by U.S. Navy aircraft.
I talked to scientists, military witnesses, pilots, and people who saw something they can't unsee.
I remembered those faces and they weren't human.
People who saw something so strange, they spent the rest of their lives trying to make sense of it.
There was no other explanation for what we saw that day.
This isn't about believing everything. It's about following the story until it finally makes sense, where we actually find these damn aliens. High Strange returns with an all-new season on February 6th.
Okay, Okay, I like this right here. Payne Lindsay, the host. But we're back with High Strange Season 2. This is actually out now. But this sounds like what you know, and the freaks out there know that I love, is that coast-to-coast AM feel, where you got people who call in. It does sound like there might be a little more skepticism in this show. But I love how Payne Lindsay, the host, is taking you through the story to help you make it make sense, instead of you being able to just say, oh, that's not true. It sounds like he's laying it out for you, and you kind of just get to decide, now what do you think? I love this take, though. I love this outlook on a podcast. I love how you can do something like this that almost sounds like some of the stuff we've heard in the past, where it's a fiction podcast, but this sounds like it's real life. It's documentary. It's that kind of podcast. So what do you think about this here?
Yeah, it's right up my husband's alley. He loves to watch those things about breaking down ET experiences or UFO experiences, Bigfoot experiences, and kind of trying to break it down and either legitimize it or debunk it or whatever it is. But I have a tendency to roll my eyes at the ones that just feel like they are all in and believing that what they're seeing and what they're showing is real. And so you don't get any of that skepticism that you need to be able to verify it, right? So I'm one who I'm very, what's the word? Picky, or I'm kind of a snob about what kinds of paranormal documentary type media that I watch. Because I'm like, listen, this is just a bunch of people who they got to put expert on their name and say a bunch of stuff like, look at this here and listen to this audio we got caught and all the different things. I love all that stuff, but I'm very picky about what I'll watch. And if I had sense a hint of like, we're just here to make you believe this, I'm like, I'm out. No. So I love the skepticism part. You need the Scully to your Mulder, right?
Absolutely. I love these types of shows, though. Not just podcasts, but like you said, the TV shows, kind of like your husband. I love those ones. Skinwalker Ranch is in our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
We should get in touch with Brandon Fugel. I see his name everywhere out here on billboards, and I was always like, that name seems familiar because he sells a bunch of real estate. Brandon Fugel owns the Skinwalker Ranch, and he's a producer on that show. That's where I knew his name from. We should get him to invite us out there. That'd be wild. I'd love to go out there. May never come back.
Well, then so be it. We gotta. It's a sacrifice for the pursuit of the truth, right?
That's right. A sacrifice for the freaks out there. That's what we'll do. We'll go out there. We'll investigate Skinwalker Ranch. If he'd have us, Brandon Fugel, will you have us? Will you bring us out to Skinwalker Ranch if you're seeing this sometime, please?
Yeah, let me walk the land. Let me feel the vibration. Let me see what my intuition comes up with. I would love to explore.
Let's get to this next podcast right here. This trailer I picked out. I like this one too, just by the look of the cover, and it's a little bit different reason. And you can see the cover is on the video here with us, between me and Coco. But this one kind of it stuck out to me for some reason. So let's fire it off and see what's going on.
Life has a tendency to drag us by the edges when we least expect it. So hard seasons are inevitable, but it's how we get out of them that matters. I'm Maya Galore, YouTuber and influencer, and the world has watched me get dragged by life. A quickie marriage, weight gain, low self-worth, all of the things. But with daily intention, being brutally honest with myself, and doing the tough self-work, I elevated into the very best version of myself that I have ever been. So welcome to Into the Next, a podcast for women who, despite setbacks, want to intentionally step into the next season in the best version of themselves. Get ready for all the girl talk, but we're also getting deep. We really only can make decisions, live our life to the level of growth that we've already had. Never again will I allow myself to diminish and push down what I desire for the benefit of someone else's happiness. You just gonna have to be mad. There's so much that is going unintentionally that we gotta get a grip on, because it is changing who we are from the inside out without our permission. I had to realize that. I was teaching people how to treat me. I ain't got no standards. I ain't got no boundaries. You can just walk all over me. I'm gonna do everything you need while you give me nothing. Period. That's the life we live in. That's what I was teaching people. I was accepting of it. I wasn't doing anything about it. We'll also talk about elevating our authenticity, our confidence, our environment, and elevating life overall, because your best self, she deserves it. Hey babes, I'm Maya Galore, and you're listening to Into the Next, where we are becoming, rebuilding, and elevating into the next season and best version of ourselves. This is the work no one talks about, so if you're listening, you're meant to be. Your new season begins on February 9th. I'll see you there, sister.
Now, I see you already over there, Coco. You were enjoying this one. What was your initial thoughts on Maya Galore?
Girl, yes. That's all I have to say about that. Everything she's saying, I love meeting women who are in that same boat, that are going through kind of the same things. And I know she directed it specifically at women, but in my work, I think men are doing it too. They just don't talk about it nearly enough. So everybody is kind of in that same boat. I love when people are saying the same things that I'm saying, and saying, you know, authenticity, step into yourself. You're going to make people mad. You're going to ruffle feathers. This is the time. We're all wakening up. We're becoming, right? And personally, I love to hail that to a woman of color. Like, if she's saying it, let's listen to her. You know, enough of us have been talking, but listen to her. Do what she, you know, follow her path. She's been through it, and she's raised her vibrational frequency. She's in that space. And seasonally, cyclically, I gotta talk about this on Practically Magic, but we are all in a threshold time period right now in the Wheel of the Year, which means we are stepping out of spaces, but not quite entering new spaces just yet. So I've talked about this at nauseum on my social media and my my platforms, but that's what she's talking about. Into the next. I love that. Love that visual.
I'm always for a good, great women empowerment podcast, TV show, whatever it may be. And Maya Galore right here, she seems like she's riding the same frequency we are. And that the freaks out there are. You know, and I love the title. Like you said, Into the Next. That's awesome. That's incredible, because that's what we're doing. We're just going from one thing to the next.
Yep.
She's doing it. I got to also say this, and I've said it before about some of the women empowerment podcasts that we've had on here. Credit to the host for putting herself out there and being vulnerable like this, too. It's not easy. But there are tons of people who need to hear this, women especially. I get that. Sure, men do too. Nobody's really talking about it. But yes, women, you got to have this, and you got to listen to this. This is the kind of energy that I love. I love this type of energy. And it is all about this. It's about being the best version of yourself. And maybe that best version is waiting. Got to get there. Into the next. Love that.
Yeah.
What else do you want to say? What else do you want to say?
Yeah, to speak about whether men need this kind of energy as well. I just had a Tarot for Tips event, a card reading event that I was doing this past weekend. And it was interesting because I had a couple sit down. They were cousins. They were adult cousins visiting or whatever. And she wanted to get a card reading. And he was just kind of like, I'll just watch, whatever. But then after he saw her reading, he was intrigued. He wanted to, I want to know more about that. Yeah, I'll do a reading with you. First time ever, you know, he seemed like the kind of guy who probably doesn't do this kind of thing often. But as cards started coming up for him that were like, this is what you're needing. This is you moving into a new space. He was talking about leaving one job and starting a new job. And he was kind of hooked. He was kind of like, okay, you're speaking. Okay, these are things I didn't even think about that. Okay, tell me more about that. And I started to think, man, it's too bad that the culture of what we typically associate with, like, this is for women and this is for men. I'm like, we all are speaking the same language. It's just too bad that men haven't traditionally had that before. So while I know she said it was for women, I just have to keep pointing out, men need it too. You're going into new spaces too. Everybody's leaving behind one room and entering into a new room, right?
You know what? I'm going to make a note right here. And I don't do this often, but you saw me grab a pen, and I'm going to write this down. But next week's Trailer Park show, I'm going to find some men-focused podcast. And I'm not discrediting anything about women-empowered ones, but you're the one that said it too. we need to find some of these voices. So I'm going to go out and search for some of these voices that can talk to men. We do a lot for Promise to Live. And we know that there's mental challenges out there that get to people, and it's okay to not be okay. That's for real. That's a real talk, real thing. But I think we do need to highlight some of these out there in case there are some men out there who are listening to this and they're like, you know what, give me a male. I want the man version of this. And that's okay. That's okay to want that. But I'm going to make a note right now that next week we're going to do that. We'll find
let's find our
men,
king
and I
of
don't want to call
cups.
it.
That's what came up for my reading for this man in the coffee shop is the King of Cups was pulled. And I said, this is going to represent a masculine figure in your life that you need to go to and be vulnerable with. Like, who do you have in your life that's somebody that's also a man or masculine that can be that emotional support for you? And as is typically with men, he was like, I don't know who that would be. And I said, well, then this card is coming up for you because you need it. Because men need men.
Yeah.
Men need men to be vulnerable with the two. It shouldn't just be women who hold that space for men in their lives. We need that sort of thing to just become the norm. Let's normalize it. Normalize men talking about feelings with each other.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I have to say this. I don't want to go too far into it because we got to get out of here. But me and my homies, we are real open about that now. And I've noticed that's a lot different. Like, we do say we love each other. Like, why not? Like, we ain't got nothing. It's not about that. It's like you got to let people know. You got to give people their flowers while they're still here a lot of times. And not be at a funeral saying, oh, I love that guy. Tell them why they're here. And yeah, let's find that. I'm going to find that for next week. What do we got coming up on Feature Friday tomorrow? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, I like a little bit of mystery in what we're going to be talking about. So those of you who have been following us on social media and see our upcoming posts, what's coming up next, so that you can watch the shows, we have Black Phone coming up as our Friday feature. And I think we're going to talk about 1 and 2. Unless, of course, it's just too much and we have to break it up into 2 different episodes. But Black Phone, Ethan Hawke, that's what we're coming up with next tomorrow, Friday feature.
I love it. So, in other words, you're going to get to hear me get all amped up and mad as hell about a damn dog winning that award again over Ethan Hawke. Okay? Not even going to talk about Allison Brie and Together yet. Or have we? I don't know.
Yeah, that was earlier in this week. That's our Monday movie this week. A couple days ago.
Let's see. All right, hang on. Get mad about Ethan Hawke like I did for Allison Brie in Together, who should have won that award once again. But I'm going to make another claim for Ethan Hawke tomorrow's show, Feature Friday. And yes, we will have to do Black Phone 1 and 2 together. I think that's the best way to do it. I watched them back to back, and I think they do fit all together. So we'll see you on Feature Friday. Until then, it's Parallel Frequencies. Coco, what you got to say?
I just want everybody to take good care of themselves. And if there's podcasts like this, the one we're on right now, Practically Magic, and the ones we mentioned today in today's episodes, they should be enriching and enlightening you. So take good care of yourself.
Absolutely correct. We'll see you on the other side.